Yes. Okay. Right. Can everyone click the link I have given and see this particular area which I go to, IMC campus. For IMC campus, you can just go and search. You would get a 1.37K YouTube channel. May have a video ekakma very, very important. Everything is very important. Every video gives you a learning. Ekama video එක දෙපාරක් බැලුවත්, you will have a better learning to do. Even if you see the same video. What if you see different videos and correct all this content? Then there are other international channels as well. Check all of that. Because somewhere you need to collect these sources. මේ channel එකේ තියෙන සුවිශේෂත්වය තමයි මේ channel එක ලංකාවේ system එකට හදලා තියෙන්නේ for Sri Lankan students to learn certain things. So we are talking about Sri Lankan perspective. අපේ ලංකාවේ perspective එක මොකද්ද? අපේ හැම කෙනෙක්ම biology ඉගෙන ගන්නේ ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්ද බැරිද කියන එක තව ප්‍රශ්නයක්. ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න තියෙන ආසාව තියනවාද? ඒ ආසාවත් එක තමයි වෙන්නේ. Right? When you say your friends you want to become a doctor, there are various things they will tell you. But keep it aside. Does everyone who does bio want to become a doctor? Do they like it at least? Hospital එකකට ගිහිල්ලා හිටියම ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් බැලුවොත් මටත් මෙන්න මේ වගේ ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියන ඉන්ට්‍රස්ට් එක එනවද? ඉන්ට්‍රස්ට් එක අනිවාර්යෙන් එනවා. එතනින් එහා තමයි අපි මෙන්න මේ සිද්ධිය බලන්නේ. So check all these videos which has been uploaded here. Check all this stuff. Okay, guys, if you don't mind, I'm just going to mute everyone all in one go. Okay, just to mute everyone so that there is no disturbance. මේ හැම එකක්ම බලලා තමයි අපි කරන්නේ. So check all these videos which I have here. අද දවස පටන් ගන්න I'm going to just show you one video. It's just 5 minutes. Take a pen and a paper, write down whatever you learn, and immediately let's look at how do we address this in your career. Also, may discussion negata, we are going to have a doctor who would join and share her information or his information as well. So can you all look into this video called Bodunpa Kulasekara. Bodunpa Kulasekara. A student from Sirimawa Bandaranaike Vidyalaya. Maximum 5 minutes. අපි ටක් ගාලා බලමු එයා මොකද්ද කියන්නේ කියලා. So I'm going to just take it up to here. There is lot of details which she shares in her journey. I want all the students to pay keen attention to this when I play, and please take down notes, guys, once this is happening. Video එක මම ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේ යුනිවර්සිටි සම්බන්ධයෙන් තියෙන දේවල් පැහැදිලි කරද්දි මම යුනිවර්සිටි සම්බන්ධයෙන් වීඩියෝ එකක් යනවා නම් ඒක ස්ටොප් කරලා තමයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පැහැදිලි කරන්නේ. Every detail in this video is very important. ඒතර ඔයගොල්ලන් වගේ දරුවෙක් තමයි මෙන්න මේ දරුවා. හොඳ A level results තියෙන අම්මයි තාත්තයි දෙන්නම lecturers-ලා වෙන එක දරුවෙක්. Right? Who is in our university. Mother is a teacher at Visaka. Father is a professor at the Open University in Nugegoda, right? So this is her story of what she actually comes out with.
Sirimawa Bandaranaike Vidyalaya කොළඹ 7 first year එක ඉවර කරලා තමයි ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ. University එක Vidham State Medical University. ඉතින් ඇත්තටම ඊට අවුරුද්දකට කලින් තමයි මම IMC එයාවට පස්සේ මුලින්ම කතා කරන්නේ සෝමාලියට. ඒකලා ඊට පස්සේ ස්පීකින් කවුන්ට් එක කතා කරා. මොනවාස් ටිකේ මම ඇත්තටම හිටියේ අනාවද නැද්ද ඒක තිබ්බා. ඒ කතා කරාට පස්සේ ඒ දෙන්නත් එක්ක අනිවාර්යෙන් යන්න ඕන කියන තැනට ආවා. පස්සේ ඔක්කොම අම්මයි තාත්තයි CD ඔක්කොම රෙඩි කරලා දුන්නා. ගිය අවුරුද්දේ හරියටම ජුලයි 6 අපි මෙහෙන් ගියේ සෙකන්ඩ් බැච් එක විදිහට. මාත් එක්ක 15ක් වගේ ගියා. ඇත්තටම ඉන්ටෙක් එක පටන් ගන්නේ 1st of September. ඒතර මම ගියේ ජුලයි 6. ඒතරම ජුලයි 6 ගියේ එකෙන් ලොකු වාසියක් මට වුණා. මොකද අපි යන්නේ අලුත් තැනකට. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි දන්නේ නැති භාෂා.
Now this segment is specifically about මම විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට කලින් යන එකේ. විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට වෙලාවට යන්න පුළුවන් ක්‍රමයක් තියෙනවා. That all happens in the way you come and join with us. විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට කලින් යන්න පුළුවන්, වෙලාවට යන්න පුළුවන්, ඒ intake එකට පස්සෙත් යන්න පුළුවන්. All three possibilities are there in the university where parents and students come and ask us. But the perspective is different, dear students. Vishwavidyala Batangane Kyan, this is like you are going for an event. The event is starting at 9 o'clock. When the event starts at 9 o'clock, you can be there at 7 o'clock or 7:30. Or you can be there at 9 o'clock. Or you can be there at 9:30. So අපේ intake එකක් තියෙනවා නම් අපි ඒක ඔයගලන්ට drag කරලා දෙනවා intake එකට පරක් වෙලා යන්න. ඔයා මිස් කරන්නේ නැහැ ඔයාගේ studies. ඔයාගේ studies හැම එකක්ම ඔයා යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ ගිහිල්ලා කරනවා. හැබැයි નિયમિત දවසට පොඩ්ඩක් පරක් වෙලා යන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයගලන්ට සමහර වෙලාවට finances collect කරන්න තියෙන වෙලාව තියෙනවා. Right? You take time to do the finances. You take time in your documentation. අපිට වීසා එක ඉෂුව කරලා එයා ටිකට් එක බලන්න ඕනේ. එයා ටිකට් එක බලන්නේ group එකක් හැටියට. ඒ හැම එකක්ම බලද්දි මේ දවස් එහා මෙහා යද්දි we get flexible in this. So you can go early, you can go on time, you can go late. මේ early යන නමේගේ experience එක how I learn things there.
එතන තියන්නේ මම ගියාම එතන ජුලයි ඉඳන් ඒ සෙප්තැම්බර් වෙනකම් මට පුළුවන් වුණා ඒ කියන්නේ රටේ තියෙන දේවල් ගොඩක් ඉගෙන ගන්න ඒ ලැන්ග්වේජ් එකේ ටිකක් හරි ඉගෙන ගන්න මිනිස්සුත් එක්ක කතා කරලා මම ඒ පරිසරයට පුරුදු වුණා මේක මොකක්ද ෆුඩ් ඇන්ඩ් ස්ටෆ් ඒ දේවල් වලට පුරුදු වුණා ඉතින් ඇත්තටම මම හිතන්නේ එහෙම කලින් යන එක හොඳයි ළඟට තියලා යනවට වඩා මොකද අනිත් අපි මෙඩිකල් ගොඩක් කලින් කරා ඒතර අපේ PCR ඒව ගොඩක් කලින් කරා එතකොට අපිට හරිම වැක්සින් කරා මම එහෙදි තමයි ඩෝස් දෙකම ගත්තේ ඒ ඔක්කොම කරා එතකොට අර මොනවා හරි අසනීපයක් වුණත් ඒ කියන්නේ වැක්සින් අපිට වැක්සින් එක ගහලා මොනවා හරි වුණා කියලා එහෙම වුණා නම් එතන රිකවර් වෙන්න හරි කාලෙ මට ඉතුරු වුණා ඉතින් එතකොට අර දැන් 1st of September පටන් ගත්තාම මට හොඳට යුනි එකේ වැඩ ටික කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් වුණා අනකට ඇත්තටම එහෙම ලකුවට යන්න බෑ හැබැයි එහෙ ගියාට පස්සේ හැම දෙයක්ම පුරුදු වුණා ඔය යන්න තනියම ඔය යන්න ඒ කියන්නේ ගිහින් බඩු ගන්න දැන් වෙනදා ගෙදර ඉන්නකොට
So this is going to be university life for everyone. It's fun. It's full of excitements. It's full of entertainment and learning. So when students go here, they don't know how to cook. First time they go to a supermarket and they see, so this is what my parents are going through. They have to buy the vegetables first. With vegetables, they need to buy some spices. What is the importance of all of this? So if you want to cook a curry, right, while you are going to, because you're going to be your main boss for the next 6 years. Your parents are not going to be there. Your friends all will get together. When we cook, how do we actually manage the cooking? Because next day we have to be at the university at 9 o'clock. Do we cook at night, then eat it? Do we eat breakfast on our way? All these are interesting decisions which they take.
කෙනෙක් දෙන්නේ අපි ඒක හැම දෙයක්ම මැනේජ් කරන් පුරුදු වුණා. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ විදිහට තමයි මේ දේවල් තමයි ගන්න ඕන. ඒ කියන්නේ හැම දෙයක්ම දැන් මැනේජ් කරන්
දැන් යුනිවර්සිටි එක පටන් ගත්තම ඔයා දැනට මුහුණ දීලා තියෙන සබ්ජෙක්ට්ස් එක මොකක්ද?
දැන් අපිට දැන් මම ෆස්ට් ඉයර් එක ඉවරයි. අපිට ෆස්ට් සෙමෙස්ටර් එකේ තිබ්බ සබ්ජෙක්ට්ස් තමයි physics, general chemistry, first aid. ඒක ඇත්තටම practically subject එකක්. ඒක ඇත්තටම ගොඩක් වටිනවා. අනිත් එක අපිට තව තිබ්බ hospital එකේ practical skills කියලා subject එකක්. ඒ ටික තමයි main එක anatomy. අනිත් එක main එක තමයි anatomy තිබ්බා. ඒක තමයි මට first sem එකේ තිබ්බේ. ඇත්තටම anatomy එහෙ ගත්තාම ඒ කියන්නේ ගොඩක්ම practically පොතක ලියලා කරන දේ නෙමෙයි ඇත්තටම එහෙ තියෙන්නේ. ඒ ඇත්තටම අපි ඔක්කොම කරන්නේ ඕරලි. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි එක්සෑම් එකක් තිබ්බත් ඒ හැමදේම ඕරලි. කොහොමත් හැමදාම එක්සෑම් එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ හැමදාම අපේ රේටින්ග්ස් විදියට තමයි යන්නේ. ඒ හැමදාම අපි දෙන්න ඕන ඕරලි. ලියලා ගන්න නැහැ අපෙන් කිසිම දෙයක් තියරි. ඒතරම ඇත්තටම අපි බොඩිස් යූස් හැමදේම යූස් කරා. ඒ තුල ෆස්ට් ඒඩ් වලදී අපි ගොඩක් දේවල් ඉගෙන ගත්තා. එතකොට සෙකන්ඩ් සෙම් එකට ආවට පස්සේ තව අපිට අලුත් සබ්ජෙක්ට් එකක් විදිහට එකතු වුණා හිස්ටොලොජි and එතකොට ජෙනරල් කෙමිස්ට්‍රි ඒ අවුරුදු සෙම් එකකින් ඉවර කළා අපිට ආයෙත් තියෙනවා ඕගනික් කෙමිස්ට්‍රි. ඒක තමයි අලුතෙන් අනිත් එක ලැටින් තියෙනවා. සෙම් දෙකම ලැටින් තිබ්බා.
Please note down the subjects which is giving. These are some of the areas students will be experiencing in the first year.
ඕන මොකද ඒක කියන්නේ මේ වෛද්‍ය විද්‍යාවට අනිවාර්යෙන් අවශ්‍යයි. ලැටින් ඉගෙන ගන්න නැතුව බෑ. ඉතින් ලැටින් තිබ්බා. රෂියන් අනිත් එක මේන් එක රෂියන්. ඒ ටික තමයි තිබ්බේ. ඒතර අපි ෆස්ට් සෙම් එකේම අපිට තියෙන හොස්පිටල් එකක්. ඒක VSMU යුනිවර්සිටි එකකට තමයි තියෙන්නේ. හොස්පිටල් එකට අපිව ගෙනිහිල්ලා අපිට එතන ගොඩක් ඒ කියන්නේ ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් නොලෙජ් එකක් දුන්නා. දැන් ඒක ආයෙත් මේ සෙම් එකට ආයෙත් අලුතෙන් එන එක ෆස්ට් සෙම් විතරයි තිබෙන්නේ. එතනිනුත් අපිට ටෙස්ට් එකක් තියලා අපේ ෆයිනල් එක්සෑම් එක උනේ ඒක ෆස්ට් සෙම් එකේ. තව ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් ස්කිල්ස් කියලා එකක් තිබ්බා. එතනදී අපිට ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් එයා හොස්පිටල් එකේ තියෙන දේවල් පෙන්නලා හොස්පිටල් එක ගැන කියලා දීලා මෙන්න මේ දේවල් වගේ වෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා. එතනදී අපි තව බුක් එකක් හැදුවා. හොස්පිටල් ඒ කියන්නේ දේවල් ගැන එන්වයරන්මන්ට් ඒ දේවල් ගැන ඒක තමයි ප්‍රැක්ටිකලි තිබ්බේ. මම බුද්දිස්ට් කෙනෙක්. ඒ වුණාට අපිට ඒක ගොඩක් කියන්නේ හැම ෆෙස්ටිවල් එකම තියෙනවා. දැන් ක්‍රිස්මස් තියෙනවා. ක්‍රිස්මස් වලට අපිට ගිහින් කැරොල්ස් කියලා යන්න පුළුවන් එක ලොකුවට තියෙනවා. ක්‍රිස්මස් වෙසක් භක්ති ගීත වෙසක් දන්සලේ ඔක්කොම ටික තියෙනවා. ආයේ ටැමිල්ස් ලගේ ඒ ටික තියෙනවා. දිවාලි එක ගොඩක් ලස්සනට තියෙනවා. ඒ දේවල් තමයි රිවිෂන් එකෙන් තියෙන දේවල්.
Okay, so this is how it all is going to start, right? If you are looking at a university, you have to go through an entire process. Let's see the structure a little bit. Let's look at how the universities are going to be and how do we actually make use of this. All the students who are here will have to be going through this particular process. This process is your medical education life. You start here, you end up here. Please pay keen attention, guys. You start there and end up there. Your university education has 3 particular dimensions here in various ways. So this is first year, this is second year, this is third year. You have fourth year, you have fifth year, you have sixth year. Understood? 6 years. මේ හැම අවුරුද්දක්ම වෙන වෙනවා මෙන්න මේ විදිහට semesters වලට. So what's a semester? A semester is just 5 months. This is going to be 5 months. This is going to be 5 months. මාස පහක්. This is going to be 5 months. That's it. You would get a break. You would get a break of about 2 months here. This is going to be the break of 2 months. This is your holiday break. When will this intake start? We have a minor intake in Feb, a major intake in September. මොකද්ද මේ major minor intake කියන්නේ? February intake එක very competitive because we have very limited seats. It's not only that the university has got very limited seats, it is also a fact that no other university in the entire area can give you an intake in February. So don't look into doing short courses in the university by paying money, go and staying in a hostel. It's just wasting money and time. Understand where should you enter into the right intake. This intake starts in February. Target that. Make your finances. Documents හදන එක. දැන් documents හදන එකෙන් මොකද්ද මේ අමාරුම document එක මේ දවස්වල ගන්න? Passport. දැන් February කියලා එකපාරට ඒ වෙලාව decide කරන්න බෑ. Work early. Now it's November. We can still make you go to the university even in the month of December if you like, or you want to go to February intake next year. Anything is ideal. Anything is ideal. So do it in a way that you would be joining the university on time or before, or where you will not miss a single class. So we have 2 intakes. මෙන්න මේ මාස දෙකක කාලේ මොකක්ද අපි කරන්නේ? You can come and work in Sri Lanka in a hospital. Option number 1. ලංකා විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයක වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන්. වැඩ කරනවා කියන්නේ assisting a doctor or observership with a doctor. මේක කරන්නේ පළවෙනි අවුරුද්දේ දරුවෝ, දෙවෙනි අවුරුද්දේ දරුවෝ. You all are not doctors yet. You have not even completed your studies. You are just studying there. But you can come and work in a government sectored hospital or a private sectored hospital just to get some experience. Are they going to give you a salary? No, they won't give you a salary. So you can come to Sri Lanka and do it. You think I will save on the air ticket. I mama ලංකාවට යන්නේ මට මේ air ticket එක ටිකක් ගණන් වැඩි. හරි. එහෙනම් මම බෙලරුස් කියන රටේ ඉඳගෙන හෝ මම ඉන්න රටේ ඉඳගෙන මම ඒ hospital වල වැඩ කරනවා මාස දෙකක්. salary එකක් හම්බ වෙනවද? salary එකක් හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේ මාස දෙක වගේ knowledge එක ගන්න exercise එකක් වෙනවා. අංක 3 you can do the same thing by going to any country's hospital you like and work and do the same thing. අපේ හිතමු මම බෙලරුස් වල ඉන්නවා මට කැමති ලන්ඩන් වලට නැත්නම් පැරිස් වලට යන්න. I just like to go. හැබැයි මට පැරිස් වලට වඩා මට ලන්ඩන් වල තියෙන එක්ස්පෝෂර් එක හොඳයි ඉඳා මම යනවා ලන්ඩන් වල තියෙන හොස්පිටල් වලට. මාස දෙකක් මම එංගලන්තේ ඉන්නවා. Visa regulations will apply separately. මම කියන්නේ university එකෙන් ඔයාට letters ගන්න පුළුවන්. අපි ඔයගලන්ට ඒ letters ටික අරන් දෙනවා to go and work in London. අන්තිම එක තමයි මේ option number 4. ඔයාට පුළුවන් summer course එකක් කැමති university එක කරන්න. කැමති universities වලින් හොඳම university එක දරුවන්ට තෝරන්න තියෙන එක තමයි මේ Oxford විශ්වවිද්‍යාලය. මම මෙතන O කියලා සටහන් කරනවා. You can even study in Oxford. Isn't going to Oxford, Harvard, Yale, isn't this a dream for all of us? ලෝකයේ තියෙන හොඳම විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයන්ට යන්න අපිට හරි ආසයි. You sometimes will not get qualified here because of your results. එහෙම නැත්නම් you think paying to these places is very expensive. So what do? You can do a summer course, an intensive course, a very intensive course. They would get you a certificate. They give you updated topics. There are some doctors, when they are studying medicine, again, they are targeting to do a multitasking job in the hospital. They like to do something relating to administration. Doctors lage administration course එකක් මේ කරන්න පුළුවන්. කරලා they like to do something on IT. ඔයගලන්ට වෙනමම IT subject එකක් එනවා. ඒ හැරෙන්න IT එකක් එනවා. ඔය latest medical developments ගැන. මම උදාහරණයකට මෙතන පෙන්නන්නම් latest medical developments ගැන, where students will understand how in future people will do how will people do in future operations. This is called the Da Vinci robotic operation. මේක ඔක්ස්ෆර්ඩ් එකේ ගලන්ට ගන්න පුළුවන් මේ course එක. Pay for it? Yes. How long is it? Within the summer time, you will get to do this. Did everyone note that? That is how you would be getting involved, because some people ask, okay, sir, what do I learn in a summer course? In a summer course, you will be doing that, right? Mama, දැන් මේ medical college එකට apply කරද්දී මට ඒ ඕන A level results මොකද්ද? A levels, I will need CCS for locals or CCD for Londons. CCS for locals, CCD for Londons. මෙහෙම තිබ්බම මට medical council requirement එක meet කරන්න පුළුවන්. Subjects have to be chemistry, physics, bio. Chemistry, physics, bio. If not, I will sometimes go down the results of SSS. I need to have a bridging program to go ahead with this. Additional subject එකක් කරන්න වෙනවා. But may results not recognized by SLMC. ඒ කියන්නේ ලංකාවට ඇවිල්ලා වැඩ කරන්න බෑ. So it is ideal for students to go abroad, settle abroad, have a plan for migration. Hari, මගෙන් දරුවෙක් මෙහෙම අහනවා, sir, මට O level ඉවර වෙලා මට A level වලට තියෙන ආදේශකයක් අරගෙන කරන්න ඕනේ. You can do a pre-med qualification. You can do a pre-med qualification and then get into the medical college. This is the exact A-level version of what you would do. The duration is going to be 10 to 12 months. අපි traditional O-level, A-level system එක ගත්තොත් අවුරුදු 3 මාරක් යනවා local A-level කරන්න. දරුවෙක් O-level ඉවර වෙලා A-level එක කරනවා ඊට පස්සේ. කරලා results එනවනේ. යුනිවර්සිටි එකට යන්න මට results ඕනේ. results ඇවිල්ලා ඉවර වෙලානේ යන්නේ. එතකොට ඕගලන්ට A level ඉස්කෝලේ ගිහිල්ලා ඉගෙන ගන්න යන කාලයයි. exam එක කරන කාලයයි. exam හරියටම රජය නිවේදනයක් නිකුත් කරොත් you will have your exam on this date and you do the exam on that date. And you wait for the results. And if the government says they will give you the results like this and you get the results, may have a process එකටම යනවා 3 years. මම කියන්නේ 3.5 years. මොකද මේ යන ක්‍රියාවලියට අනුව exams පොඩ්ඩක් කල් යනවා, results එන එක පරක්කු වෙනවා, ඔයගලන්ට intake miss වෙනවා. මනස තියාගත්තොත් 3.5 years කියලා තිබ්බොත් හරි. ඔයා ලන්ඩන් විභාගය කරා නම් 2.5 years විතර යනවා. ලන්ඩන් crash course එක කරා නම් 1.5 years යනවා. මේක කරා නම් pre-med qualification එක 10 months to 12 months යනවා. ඔයාගේ යාළුවෝ A level results එද්දී ඔයා යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ second year complete කරලා අන්න third year එකට යනවා. ඔහොම ක්‍රියාවලියකුත් තියෙනවා. ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ counselors ලගෙන් අහන්න, they will help you. I will show you some students who had the ability actually to do this. So for an example, you will see here, I call that this is how we create your own story. So what's your own story? Your own story is something like this. You're just normal as any student in Sri Lanka, in anywhere in the world. You're good as any normal student. You have your parents, you have your guardians, you have your uncle, aunties, right? අපිට මොකද්ද ලංකාවේ තියෙන pressure එක? මෙන්න මේ අධ්‍යාපන ක්‍රමය. I need to pass. I need to study. මාර තරංගයක් තියෙනවා. මේ තරංගෙන් මම ජය ගන්නේ කොහොමද? medical seats ටික issue එකක් වෙයිද? medical seats ටික issue එකක් වෙයිද? ඔන්න ඔය වගේ යම්කිසි තරංගයක් තියෙනවා. මේ තරංගයත් එක්ක තමයි අපි මේ යන්නේ. මෙන්න මේ තරංගෙට කොහොමද අපි මුහුණ දෙන්නේ? This is what everyone is actually thinking about. I met 3 students from 3 different schools, from 3 different backgrounds, who actually wanted to do a pre-medicine. This is like you. May ඇවිල්ලා මේ දරුවෝ තුන් දෙනා යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ දැන් ඉන්නේ. They actually doctors doing their higher studies. One is from Gateway. One is from Maldives. One is from Visakha Vidyalaya. They came and met us like this. And they did the same pre-medical course which you are also hoping to do. Okay. මේ Instagram එකේ මම අරන් තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ පින්තූරේ ඒගොල්ලන් අපේ college එකේ ඇවිල්ලා ගත්ත selfie එකක්. We like to see people doing really well. We like to see people becoming happy. We like to transform people's lives. We like to make them smile. We like to make the parents smile and give them some hope, aspiration. මේ පින්තූරේ අපිට මෙන්න මේ පින්තූරේ දක්වා ගෙනියන්න කොච්චර කාලයක් යයිද? මාසෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? බෑ. ඒකට කාලයක් යනවා. ඒකට කාලයක් යනවා. From here we take you through a step. From here we take you through a step. ළමයි එනවා අපි ගාව sir A level කරා A level down, don't worry, we will help you out with it. Don't worry, we will help you out with it. මේ පින්තූරේ මෙතනට ගන්න කොච්චර වෙලා යනවද? ඒ හා සමාන වෙලාවක් ඉතින් යනවා. මේ අර පිරිමි ළමයයි අර විසාකයකින් ආපු ගැහණු ළමයයි right surgery options කරනවා මේ වෙලාවේ. You can see more like this. You can see like this and like this. Wow, wow, he's in the pediatric spot. So මෙන්න මේ විදිහට අපිට හම්බුණා Maldives වල ළමෙක් casually running around, as you can see, with a tortoise or a turtle. අපි බැලුවා, what is your passion, Buddha? What is your passion? What do you like to do? So yeah, ඒ පාරේ කියනවා, I don't know whether I can do this. I like to become a doctor. එන්න අපිත් එක්ක අපි ඔයාගේ ජර්නි එකට ඉවහල් වෙලා මෙන්න මේක වෙනස් කරලා දෙන්නම්. මෙන්න මේ දරුවා ලංකාවට ඇවිල්ලා මෙන්න මේ කෝස් එක කරනවා මේ විදිහට අපේ ආයතනයත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ වෙලා එයා යුනිවර්සිටි එකට ගිහිල්ලා මෙන්න මේ ෆොටෝ එක අරන් තියෙනවා. This has a lot of meaning and a lot of gaps, right? These are the other pictures. So මේ අපේ ඒ ග්‍රාන group වල ගත්ත පිපින්තූර. So as you can see, everyone goes through this story. To go through this story, you can come with me and you can see how students will get access to look into this medical school. May avilla ogalang balana yana medical school leke video ek. Check this out. Someone has said can't see the, oh sorry, you're correct, yes. Sorry, I'm sorry. Now I think you can see the video. This is the university, And these are how our medical students are inside the university. These are the anatomy labs. These are the library areas. Labs. So there is interesting activities in the university, as you can see. We have Sri Lankan doctors worldwide. Some are in Australia and England. Some are in UK. Some are in Sri Lanka. It's up to you. So to study in this university, it would take 6 years. You would go through this, and if any students have any questions, please post me the question either privately, or either you can post it in the public domain. We would have our medical students, medical doctors, and our officers to answer it as well. We would be talking to Dr. Vidhi Chand in a couple of minutes. So before I basically hand this over to her, I just like to show students that your journey comes after all this, goes through a pattern of interesting roller coaster in your career, and you switch to another huge development here where you would go into clinicals to more concentrate on hospitals. Not that you don't go to the hospitals before, you do go, but this is the main component of going to the hospitals. I've got a question on scholarships. I will come back into that, and you will complete this, and you would complete your medical education here. So for students who are not coming to Sri Lanka, who want to earn, live, migrate abroad, one of the best option is to complete your internship here and then move, rather other way around. One of the best options. So you can look into some of the lucrative countries, like for an example, in England, you could look at USA, you could look at Australia, or you could look at Canada. Right. Apart from this, one of the lucrative places which you can do is European Union, or you can do Middle East. I have got a question. Is this the only university? No, we will discuss the other universities also after having a quick chat with the doctors, all determine the cost of how you would be actually going ahead with it. So Middle East. After this, you would be doing the needful in working abroad. So if you're coming to Sri Lanka, you don't go outside, you just come directly to Sri Lanka here. So when you come to Sri Lanka, you get registered with the SLMC. You need to register for the Act 16 ERPM classes. The classes go on. The ERPM exams are conducted. After the exams are conducted, you would get an internship in Sri Lanka and you would work in Sri Lanka. And later you can look at your choices, whether you want to stay here or you want to go abroad. Okay. Right. Dr. Vidhi, are you in with us? Can you hear me?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's up? So,
Not
we have Dr. Vidhi with us. I'm just going to spotlight her. And okay, so this is Dr. Vidhi. She studied at Asian International School. She completed her education at the Vitebsk State Medical University in Belarus. So for those who actually want to go through our entire list of universities, you could actually catch it on our website where you would go to the universities and pick it from here. So all this goes through actually your grades, your budget, your interest, what do you want to do. Belarus is very strong for government universities, else everyone has good private universities. If anyone wants to come to Sri Lanka, you are responsible with us to work very closely for a SLMC recognized university. If you don't want to come to Sri Lanka, you need to give your consent that you don't want to come to Sri Lanka and you can go abroad on this, right? So let us just have a quick chat with Dr. Vidhi, right? Okay, Dr. Vidhi, you can unmute yourself and uh, what can we hear from you today? Yes, just anything what you want to just discuss.
Hi, thank you, Ms. Indika, for having me. Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to start off by telling you a little bit about myself. So my name is Vidhi Chand. I studied at the Asian International School in Colombo. I was there throughout for 16 years. I completed my London A-levels in the year 2016. So I did my A-levels in May, June, and then I got my results in August. And by around the 21st of September, I had already started my university life. So that means I had just under a month right after schooling where I had started my uni life. So I didn't have a huge break and I just immediately went into it because it was a 6-year program that I was entering. So I didn't want to waste any time at all. So I joined university in 2016 and I recently graduated in June of this year, June 2022. I came back to Sri Lanka around the middle of July and I immediately sat for my ERPM or previously known as the Act 16 exam. I sat for Part A in October and I'm currently preparing for Part B and Part C, which is the Viva exams and the emergencies, which are scheduled to be held between Jan and Feb of next year. So I would say that I did sort of have a very condensed education in terms of not a lot of time was being wasted, which I think is a good thing in terms of the fact that, we're giving away almost 6 years of our lives just to get a primary education gap. So I studied at the Vitebsk State Medical University, and I'm pretty sure as Mr. Intikab would have told you about the university breakdowns. It was a 6-year program, right? So the reason why I chose VSMU when I was looking at MedUnis was I first had to consider the fact about whether I was coming back to Sri Lanka or whether I planned to work in the country that I was studying in. So for me, coming back to Sri Lanka and obtaining my medical license here was of utmost importance, which is why I looked into the process of whether my universities that I was applying to were recognized by the Sri Lanka Medical Council. And then following that, I made sure that whether my required results were there, whether I had enough clinical hours that were needed to be recognized and get my degree approved by SLMC and whatnot. Then I also looked at the fact that the cost that was being involved. So initially I did approach universities and apply to universities in countries such as the UK, in India, and I was also looking in Malaysia. But because of the fact that I was coming back to Sri Lanka, I had to be a bit realistic there, because we all know that an intern medical officer's salary in the government sector is not the thousands and whatnot you'd expect in countries such as, first world countries. So I wanted to make sure that my medical education was as cost effective as possible, so that as cost effective as possible, whilst also not compromising on quality. So considering all that is why I chose VSMU at the end of the day. Plus, definitely the feedback that I got from my experience from my school.
One second. Okay, go ahead.
So, as I was saying, it also, I based my decision also on a lot of feedback that I got from seniors from my school who were studying at VSMU at the time that I applied. When I applied from Asian International School, there were currently 6 seniors. So I had a lot of people to talk to. And even now, there's quite a few juniors from my school who followed us and came. So it was a very comforting decision to make. So like you might know, the course content was 6 years. So the first 3 years were preclinical, the last 3 years were clinical. So it was a very big benefit to be attached to a state university, because all of our clinical attachments were in state hospitals. So there was a patient, at least 3 to 4 patients for every single disease and case that we were learning. We didn't have to share patients amongst a group of students. Each student had about 2 patients for themselves at least. On like a usual day, we would get an entire ward for one student to be able to assess patients. So in that case, if you take a certain disease, you are able to see every possible clinical presentation that may come in, because not every patient is going to be a textbook presentation of a disease. So we were able to see all the different variants, all the different types, the categories, different stages, whether they're compensated or decompensated. And more importantly, we had consent from the patients, but since it was a teaching hospital, the patients were more accommodating towards us, and we didn't have to deal with patients refusing to have medical students, especially foreign medical students, come and assess them, which is a problem that we see in many countries, including in Sri Lanka, where when you go to certain hospitals, patients do have the right to refuse. But since we were in state hospitals, our clinical education was not compromised at all, especially during the pandemic. With all the safety measures taken into concern, our education continued, and it started from year 1 to year 6 non-stop, unlike what you see, unfortunately, in Sri Lanka. Other degrees, such as people who did like economics related degrees, that all came to a pause during COVID. We fortunately got to go on throughout without having any breaks. In terms of uni life, other than just studying, so I'm not someone who is capable of just focusing only on my books or focusing only on my lectures and studying. I need that extra mental stimulation to keep myself going. So I continued practically everything that I did in school in terms of extracurricular, plus more when I went into university. So we offer a lot at the Viteb State Medical University, especially through the Sri Lankan Medical Students Union. I played 4 sports while I was at university. That was namely basketball, football, cricket, and badminton. This was amongst Sri Lankan Union. In addition to that, I was on the university's basketball team as well. For the years that I was playing for university, I was the only foreign student that was selected onto the uni team. In addition to that, I was the secretary of the Sri Lankan Medical Students Union. I represented our uni at MUN conferences, at dance competitions. I was the president of the dance club that we had. So this is just my way of telling you that the opportunities you have are endless. You're not going to end up being a burnt out university student who just has to study from the time you wake up to the time you sleep, because I'm not like that. I really cannot handle a lifestyle like that. So being
Dr.
able
Vidhi,
to have,
if you don't mind, just elaborate for our students. What is the MUN conferences about? Like, what do they like do, and how do you contribute, and how does it evolve. I know that now I know that some of you all, even from your school, from Asian also sometimes go from Sri Lanka, people go even at school level, at university level. So some students might not know about it. Like, how does it evolve around like a medical student like you?
Yeah, sure. So MUN is basically the Model United Nations. It is a simulation of the United Nations. So as you might know, the UN is basically the organizing, the body that tries to create a sort of, in very simple terms, peace amongst the world, and comes together to form real world solutions on the major topics such as economics, war, as you know it, and humanitarian rights. There are so many others, subsidiary organs such as ad hoc committees, the World Bank, and whatnot that are attached to the UN. So, as students, what we do is the Model United Nations. I don't know if you all have heard, but in Sri Lanka, we have COMUN, which is Colombo Model United Nations. We have SLMUN, Sri Lanka Model United Nations. And now a lot of schools have their own small conferences as well. I know Gateway College had theirs a couple of years ago. I know Lyceum had a LISMUN, Asian International School had AISMUN. So MUN has been really up and coming in Sri Lanka. So fortunately for me, when I went to uni, we had that opportunity. And the conference that was held, I went only for a conference in my first year. This was mainly because I had been doing MUN for years since I was, in school. So I just figured it was time that I retired after 1 year in uni. But what we did there was we're divided into committees. So my personal preference is the Humanitarian Rights Committee. So we discussed topics such as LGBT rights. We discussed stuff such as should euthanasia be legalized. And how that is important for a medical doctor is that it gives you the ability to critically think. It gives you the ability to research, which is very important as a doctor. It gives you the ability to develop your conversation skills, because being a doctor is not just about helping one patient or two patients. It's about finding things. It's about bringing it out and progressing it out into the world. So the Model United Nations gives you that platform to build and further up your skills in, public speaking and in current world affairs. It keeps you very updated in very simple terms. So the conference that we have in Belarus is conducted in Minsk, which is in the capital city. Following that, there have been lots of opportunities where my friends have gone to countries such as Hungary for Model United Nations. They've gone to the United States of America. They've gone to Poland. There have been several conferences across the globe that our university has given students the opportunity to attend, and they accommodate you in terms of helping you cover up any classes that you miss. The students who had to go, they help you cover up beforehand with your professors and lecturers. And they even assist you in like helping with your visa process and whatnot to be able to go to those foreign countries to represent the university for Model United Nations. So I think that was a really great opportunity that we had. I just personally chose not to continue after my first year because, like I said, I had been doing it for like 5-6 years, and I thought it was just high time that was enough for me. And our university is also very diverse in terms of the student body that we have. Currently, we have over a 500 strength of Sri Lankan students in our Sri Lankan Students Union, which I think is fantastic, because I realized this when my brother went to Japan to study, where he didn't have any Sri Lankan friends. There were about 2 or 3 people, but they were so scattered around that they would meet like once a month and like have like Sri Lankan night and cook something like that, right? But at BSMU, there was, first of all, my parents had the comfort and safety of knowing that there are multiple Sri Lankans around there. Our parents were able to connect with each other. So in case there was any emergency, we were able to help each other out. Then, of course, the sense of home was there. And we were able to celebrate absolutely every single festival together at university. So you never felt homesick. I guess in your first year, you will feel a bit homesick because that's the year of firsts, right? First Diwali, first Aurud, first Christmas. But after that, it becomes such a typical norm that you look forward to these events. and look forward to all these cultural gatherings that you really don't have time to feel homesick. Like every weekend is packed with something. There's always either a sport happening or there is some sort of event, freshers night going on, or like this activity thing that we have. I can speak about it for a very long time. So I'd suggest that if you are going, you'd like to experience a lot of these things for yourselves firsthand. Following that, if I was to touch on how VSMU has helped me to come back and do ERPM. So I initially came back to Sri Lanka, and so did all my batchmates, assuming that our exam was going to be held in Jan, because that was the trend that, you know, the SLMC was following. And we went to the Sri Lanka Medical Council to give our degrees for approval, and they were handed back to us with a simple line saying, please be ready, the exam will be in October, which of course is a massive shock to us because I just had 2 months to prepare. And in case it wasn't very obvious, I was very involved in extracurriculars, right? So I was not able to do these ERPF classes and whatnot while I was in uni. I tried, but I managed to cover just like 2-3% of the huge workload we had because I chose to focus on my daily classes in uni. We get our curriculum at the start of the year itself. So you know from the first day of the semester to the last day of the semester exactly what you're going to be doing on each and every single day. So if you like to plan ahead, if you like to get ahead in your classes, or just have that sense of certainty, you can download your study guides and everything is there. So what I did was I focused on my daily studies. And I also didn't have so much time to sit and spend like 6-7 hours. I did like 1 to 2 hours per day. Every single day, 1 to 2 hours. And if by any chance I was tired and couldn't study every day, I would just let it go. And maybe on my way to class, I'll read quickly 30 minutes or something like that. But I did a little bit of work every single day. So when I came back to Sri Lanka, all I had to do was focus on the past papers to see the trend. And even though it was hard to study ERPM, myself and all of my batchmates, I'm happy and actually very proud to say that we got through very well in our theory exams simply because we put in our daily work for 6 years. 30 minutes every 6 years, if anyone here is good at maths, can calculate and see how beneficial that is for you. So that is in terms of Sri Lanka. But if you want to go to other countries such as the UK, to Australia, that is also possible. Like my roommate, for example, stayed back for another year and she's currently doing her internship in Belarus. And she's planning on applying to the UK for her further studies and to work there. And the university is facilitating that. Whereas unfortunately, some of my friends who studied in Malaysia, for example, even though on paper, the university might be higher ranked, they eventually weren't allowed to have a student visa or a working visa to do an internship following that. So unfortunately, they had to come back to Sri Lanka anyway to do their internship here and then migrate abroad. So those are little factors that you should think. By like your second or third year, you should be having a rough idea of what you want to do post-grad so that you can guide yourselves towards that. But the point that I was trying to make here is that going to Belarus does not mean that your options are limited. It actually opens up plenty of options for you. We have seniors working all across the globe, and currently a very reassuring thing that we have is that in almost any hospital that you go in Sri Lanka, any base hospital, district general hospital or teaching hospital, you will find at least one VSMA student. And currently what is happening is, since there were 2 intakes in this year, each hospital such as Thangal, Dikoya, Kilinochchi, they have at least 2 students from VSMU each ward. Like for example, Kilinochchi has 8 medical wards. In each ward, there are 2 VSMU students working. So you have people, first of all, who have been studying with you, you have your companionship. Also, you have the reassurance that yes, the pass rate is good and people are successfully coming and becoming doctors after that, which is ultimately the main goal and something that I really wanted to see before selecting a university. Yeah, that was just about the 4 to 5 major points I had jotted down to talk to you all about. But in case I missed anything or if you all have any questions, I'm happy to answer those for you all now.
Yeah, so we have Dr. Vidhi for a very short time, and actually she covered a very genuine part of her life, her career, her experience and her exposure, what she has had in the university. So If there is any specific questions, I would definitely would encourage students to ask. Is there anything specific which you can ask here? Please be welcome to. So, Dr. Vidhi, what are you going to do next after this? You have classes or studies or what is it?
Yeah, I was studying before you called. So I've been doing surgery today because I have a inpatient practical tomorrow. So we're seeing about 30 patients tomorrow for short cases. So I was currently studying about ulnar nerve injuries, about injuries of the hand. So I'll be revising that a bit, and then I'll be heading off to the Future Minds event. So if anyone is
That's
coming,
today
they
or
can come and say
you're coming
hi.
today or tomorrow?
I'm coming today because tomorrow I have my surgery practicals.
Sure. I'll also be around there after 1 o'clock after some lectures.
Yeah, same. Yeah, after I finish my classes, also I'll be going.
Cool.
So if anyone wants to come and say hi, we'll be there.
So guys, there is a education exhibition going at the Colombo City Center. I probably feel that's the first time the venue is being taken for an education exhibition. And if anyone wants to hang out on Saturday, you know, just go around the place, just relax a bit there, come and meet us with your parents, and maybe we'll have a cool discussion about it. So I think Dr. Vidhi, thanks a lot for having your Saturday time with us. We appreciate it. Hope to see you
No
in
problem.
another session soon as well.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you
Thanks
for
a lot.
having me. No problem. Thank you. Bye.
So guys, after this, just to quickly chat on some of the questions students have asked. The students are going to get into the final discussion on the cost of this particular part. Can everyone focus here? We're going to look at how much does 1 year cost in this. 1 year would cost in the Republic of Belarus, in a university like VSMU, at least 7,900 US dollars to start off per year, multiplied into 6 years. So I had a question. This is all inclusive. All inclusive. When I mean all inclusive, I'm not going to type here everything. I mean insurance, medical, PCR, food, allowance, travel, visa, transport, washing clothes in the laundry, going to supermarkets, going and eating outside. I think I covered everything there. Hostel, everything. All inclusive 7,900 USD. 7,900 USD කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ලක්ෂ 29ක් වෙනවා. මේ ලක්ෂ 29 කියලා උගලන් කැල්කියුලේට් කරන්න එපා. පේරන්ට්ස් ලටත් ඒක කියන්න මේක බලන්න පේරන්ට්ස් ලටත් ඒක වටහා ගන්න ඕන වෙනවා. මොකද අපි මේ පැත්තට ගෙවන්නේ ඩොලර් රේට් කන්වර්ෂන් එක අනුව. මෙහෙමයි ඩොලර් රේට් එක එන අවුරුද්දේ ඉඳන් අඩු වෙන්න ඉඩ තියෙනවා. ඒක වෙන කතාවක්. අඩු වුණොත් ඒ බෙනිෆිට් එක ඔයගලන්ට හම්බ වෙනවා. අපේ කැල්කියුලේෂන්ස් හදන්න ඕනේ අඩු වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා හිතාගෙන. Understood? The dollar conversion would come down to about 330, 340 next year. එහෙම ආවනම් ඔයගලන්ට මාර ලේසි මේ සල්ලි සෝස් කරන්න. Very easy. The dollar rate comes down. හැබැයි එන්නේ නැහැ කියලා හිතාගෙන මේ ප්‍රයිසිං එක දාන්න. අවුරුද්දකට ලක්ෂ 29යි ඉන්නවා අවුරුදු 6ක්. තව ඉන්ෆ්ලේෂන් අනිත් අනං මනං එයා ටිකට් කොස්ට් එක ඇඩ් කරලා ලක්ෂ 200කට විතර ඔයගලන් බජට් කරන්න. So there were some people commenting, sir, මේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලය හැරෙන්න තව විශ්වවිද්‍යාල තියෙනවද කියලා අහනවා. තව විශ්වවිද්‍යාල තියෙනවා. GRSMU කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. මේ GRSMU එක $7,600 ඒ විදියටම යන්න පුළුවන් into 6 years. අවුරුද්දකට ඔච්චරක් into 6 years. තව එකක් තියෙනවා GSMU කියලා. GSMU මෙන්න මේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට යන්න $7,200 into මේ විදිහට ගිහිල්ලා 6 years. මොකද්ද සර් මේ වල වෙනස? ඇයි මේ costing වල වෙනස? It's same as any university around the world or Sri Lanka. අපි කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට ගිහිල්ලා බලන යම්කිසි පාඨමාලාවකුත් ඒ පාඨමාලාව තියෙනවා නම් මොරටුව විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ දෙන්නගෙම pricing policy එක same නෙමෙයි. The pricing policies are different. It's not the same. In Jaffna, it's not the same. රජය අලුතෙන් විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයක් launch කරනවා වවුනියා වල. එතකොට වවුනියා පැත්තේ ගිහිල්ලා ගන්න කෝස් එකයි කොළඹ කැලණිය පැත්තේ ගන්න කෝස් එකයි වෙනස්. So මේක ඒ රටේ තියෙන ප්‍රදේශයන් තුනක්. ළමයින්ට වෙන බෙනිෆිට් එක තමයි මගේ බජට් එකට මගේ අම්මා තාත්තලාගේ බජට් එකට මට මෙතන සිලෙක්ට් කරන්න පුළුවන්. හිතා ගන්න බලන්න මේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාල තුනම එක කොස්ට් එකේ කියලා. හිතා ගන්න මේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයන් තුනම එකම කොස්ට් එකේ තියෙන්නේ. එකම කොස්ට් එකේ තියෙනවා නම් ඔයාට හම්බ වෙන බෙනිෆිට් එක මොකද්ද? ඔයාට ඒ බෙනිෆිට් එක හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයාට ඒ බෙනිෆිට් එක එන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ බෙනිෆිට් එක ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ හරියට මෙන්න මේ විදියට ප්‍රයිසිං එක ඩිෆරන්ට් නම් වෙන වෙන ප්‍රදේශයන් වල තියෙනවා නම් මෙන්න මේ විදියට තමයි යන්නේ. right. There has been some people asking me questions. Sir, Belarus එකකින් එළියට ඇවිල්ලා අපිට වෙන විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයන් දෙන්න ඒක ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ බජට් එක අනුව තීරණය වෙන්නේ. මම මැලේසියා all inclusive start කරන්නේ $14,000 ඉඳන්. මම මැලේසියා start කරන්නේ all inclusive $14,000 onwards. Tuition එකට යනවා ඩොලර් 8,000ක් 9,000ක් තව 3,000ක් 4,000ක් විතර යනවා ලිවිං එකට හොඳටම ඇති 14,000ක් ඇතුළත ඉන්න. Multiply by how many years sir? අවුරුදු 5යි 5 years. මැලේසියා 14,000 වත් තියාගන්න ඕගොල්ලන්. 14,000 තියාගන්න ඕනේ. There is another question sir මේ what scholarships තියනවද? Scholarships medical colleges 100% දෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි මේ යුනිවර්සිටීස් වල ඕගලන් රෙජිස්ටර් වෙන කාලය අනුව ඕගලන්ගේ පැත්තේ තියෙන ඕගලන්ගේ A levels වලට තියෙන අදාළ සාමාර්ථ අනුව ඕගලන් ස්පෝර්ට්ස් කරලා තියෙනවා නම් ඕගලන් ඉස්කෝලේ ප්‍රිෆෙක්ට් කෙනෙක් නම් ඕගලන්ටම යම්කිසි බෑග්ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ස්කෝලර්ෂිප් එකක් ඕගලන් විසින් ඩිමාන්ඩ් කරන්න ඒක අපිට ප්‍රෙසන්ට් කරන්න අපි ඕගලන්ට බලන්න පුළුවන් ස්කෝලර්ෂිප් එක අරන් දෙන්න. හැබැයි කිසිම වෛද්‍ය විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයක් 100%ක ස්කෝලර්ෂිප් එකක් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. කිසිම වෛද්‍ය විද්‍යාලයක් 100%ක ශිෂ්‍යත්වයක් ලබා දෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද මේ හැම ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකක්ම ඕවර් ඩිමාන්ඩඩ් හින්දා. හැබැයි ඔයගලන්ට යම්කිසි සහනයක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද යම්කිසි පර්සන්ටේජ් එකක් අඩු වෙනවා. හැබැයි මේ හැම විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයෙන් මෙන්න මෙයාට විතරක් 125ක ස්කෝලර්ෂිප් එකක් ගන්න applicability එකක් තියෙනවා 125ක් වෙනකම්. ඒ 125 ඇවිල්ලා ඔයගලන් ඒ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලෙට ගිහිල්ලා ඉගෙනගෙන ඔයගලන්ගේ attendance උත් හොඳයි නම් ඔයගලන් විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ අදාළ conferences වලට සහභාගී වෙනවා නම් මේ ડોක්ටර් විධි කියපු විදිහට apart from that you are good in sports you are good in studies ඔයාගේ marks හොඳයි නම් ඔයාට continuously එකපාරක් නෙමෙයි continuously එක දිගට පළවෙනි අවුරුද්දට 125යි දෙවෙනි අවුරුද්දට 125යි හතරවෙනි අවුරුද්දට 125යි යනාදී වශයෙන් ඔයාට ශිෂ්‍යත්වයක් continuously ඒගොල්ලන් present කරනවා. ඉතින් මෙවුවා ඉගෙන ගන්න දරුවන්ට යම්කිසි අත්වලක් වෙන විදිහට තමයි මේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයන් මේක ඔයගලන්ට පිරිනමන්නේ. මේක ඔයගලන්ට ඕපන් වෙලා තියෙන ඔයගලන්ට කැමති නම් ඒක ගන්න පුළුවන්. right? Okay, shoot in all the questions. I'm getting more questions. අපි මේක තව විනාඩි 5ක් ඇතුළත අපි close කරනවා, right? තව ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න. You can actually send me the questions. Sir, are you on Instagram? Yes, you can search me as Intikab. I'm on Instagram. Sir, yesterday exam එක තිබ්බා. IMC එකෙන් 100ක් scholarship එකක් දෙනවද? Yes. ඒ එක්සෑම් එක යුනිවර්සිටි එකෙන් නෙමෙයි කරවන්නේ ලංකාවේ අපි විසින් තමයි කරවන්නේ. අපි ඒ ස්කෝලර්ෂිප් එකෙන් ඔයගලන්ට දෙනවා ප්ලේස්මන්ට් ෆී එකෙන් 100%ක් දෙනවා. ඒ ප්ලේස්මන්ට් ෆී එකට අමතරව විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට ගිහිල්ලා මට ගෙවන්න තියෙනවද මුදල්? ඔව්. ඔයා හොස්ටල් එකේ ඉන්නවා, ඔයාට ලයිබ්‍රරි එක තියෙනවා, ඒකට කොස්ට් එකක් යනවා. right. Before we close off guys, මේක මේ සම්මන්ත්‍රණයේ පැයකට ආසන්න කාලයක් ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා. So I usually do it for about an hour. If there is any questions, please drop in or we will take it off from here. අපි මේක ඉවර වෙන කලින් සියලු දෙනාම get hooked on to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe so that you would get all the up-to-date details about medical schools, everything around it. You can follow us here. Please subscribe to this and take a screenshot of this entire thing. Make a screenshot එක ගන්න. Okay, so that's it from my end. There is one more question. A level 2S results එකෙන් scholarship එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? No, it's a problem. A level S2 කින් scholarship එකක් ගන්න බෑ. හැබැයි A level S2 අරගෙන අපේ scholarship exam එක sit කරලා ඔයා හොඳටම marks ගත්තා නම් ඒ එන category එකකින් අපි ඔයාට discount එකක් search කරලා දෙන්න. අපිට එහෙම කරන්න පුළුවන්. S2 කින් දරුවෝ scholarship එකක් කවුද දෙන්නේ? ඔයා university එකක් own කරනවා නැත්නම් ඔයා university එකක rector, vice rector ඔයා බලනවා ළමෙක්ට S2 තියෙනවා. කොහොමද scholarship එකක් දෙන්නේ? ඔය වගේ ප්‍රශ්න තමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ුත් අපෙන් අහන්නේ. Right, any more questions? Okay, that's it from this end. I wish everyone to do their research, right? Look at this positively. See how do you source your funds, right? ඔයගොල්ලන් funds source කරනකොට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට credit cards use කරන්න පුළුවන්, loan එකක් use කරගන්න පුළුවන්. This is an investment which you are doing. ඉදිරියේදී කරන investment එකක්. මේ investment සඳහා අපි families වල බලනවා සමහර කට්ටිය ඒගොල්ලන් ගෙවල් යාන වාහන ඉඩකඩම් විකුණලා කඩවල් විකුණලා මේකට invest කරනවා. මොකද if you become a doctor, probably you will earn for a month 5-10 lakhs one day, and when you become a consultant you will earn about 25-30 lakhs a day. මෙහෙම යනවා doctors ලා. අදට ඒ තීරණය ගන්න මම ලක්ෂ 100ක 150ක තියෙන ඉඩමක් විකුණනවා නම් ඉදිරියේදී මේක earn කරන්න, it's an investment. You plan how you want to do. But if someone is going to ask, sir, මට මේ ඩොලර් 7900ක් 7000ක් බෑ කරන්න බෑ. මේ ඩොලර් 2000ට නැද්ද විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයක්? ඔයාගේ cost එක ඔයා හදාගෙන ඉන්න එන. අම්මලා තාත්තලාත් එක්ක කතා කරලා අහන්න ඔයගලන්ට තියෙන මොකද්ද මේ cost එක? ඩොලර් 2000කින් මෙඩිකල් ස්කූල් යන්න බෑ. මෙහෙම එකක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාට බයෝ සයන්ස් ඩිග්‍රී එකක් අරගෙන පස්සේ මෙඩිකල් ස්කූල් එකකට දාලා අපිට පස්සේ ඒකේ cost එක adjust කරන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද බයෝමෙඩිකල් සයන්ස් කරන්න එච්චර යන්නේ නැහනේ. බයෝමෙඩිකල් සයන්සස් කරලා මෙඩිසින් යන්න පුළුවන්. So ඒ වගේ pathways තියෙනවා. Talk to your counselor and we will help you. So guys, thank you very much for being here. I hope everyone took a screenshot of this. I thank everyone for coming and joining with us, and I'll see you later. Adios amigos. Have a nice day. Take care.